Hi, my name is Jesse Yomot, and welcome back to the CNT podcast. Today's episode, the Washington Nationals. The Nationals are an interesting team. They lost Bryce Harper, and then started off terrible, and then ended up winning the World Series, and then they weren't great the next year or two. However, their offseason, one of the best. Let's just get into it. They got Josh Bell, and so many more names. I'll get into more of that later. Let's list out their roster. Catcher is Yan Gomes. First base, Josh Bell. Second base, Josh Harrison. Third base, Carter Kieboom. Shortstop, Trey Turner. Left field, Kyle Schwarber. Center field, Victor Robles. Right field, Juan Soto. And DH is Luis Garcia. The starting pitchers consist of Matt Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Patrick Corbin, John Lester, and Austin Votar, with the relief pitchers consisting of Daniel Hudson, Will Harris, Brad Hand, Jeremy Jeffries, Kyle McBrone, and Ryan Harper, with the prospects consisting of Jackson Coltsy, right-hand pitcher 2022, Cade Cavalier, right-hand pitcher 2023, and Cole Henry, right-hand pitcher 2023 as well. Now let's get into this team's offseason, because it was amazing. Let's talk about the best deal. They signed Jeremy Jeffries to a minor league deal. Jeremy Jeffries was a top 3 relief pitcher last year for the Cubs, and he had an insane year. He just came in and dominated the entire year. He was our go-to guy. He was a top 5 player on our team. He was our bullpen. He was the only one I trusted in the bullpen. He was the entire bullpen. And the fact that they got him on a minor league deal is insane. You got Brad Hand and Will Harris and Daniel Hudson, they're solid. They didn't have a true good closer. They got one on a minor league deal. This was easily the best signing, just because they got him for so cheap. I guarantee you, he's gonna perform great for them. He's gonna be a game changer for them. And not only did they do that, they also signed Kyle Schwarber, a power hitting player, which they needed desperately. This team did not have very much power. They get Kyle Schwarber, that adds power. And they trade for Josh Bell, that adds even more power. This team went from one of the least amount of power hitting, more of a defensive pitching side, to both. They did so much, and as well to go along with their starting pitchers, the first 3 being good, and then bottom 2, They get Austin Votar solid, but then they also signed John Lester, who's a great veteran presence who can still help a team win. I hate seeing Lester go. I'm a big Cubs fan. Lester's always been one of my favorite players. I hated to see him go, but him on the Nationals is a perfect fit, and I'm excited to see what he can do with them. Pains me that he'll be pitching against the Cubs again, but it also pains me to see Jeffries against the Cubs and Schwarber against the Cubs. They went out and got 3 very fun players I enjoyed watching last year. But, their offseason was insane. And they still got people like Victor Robles, Juan Soto, and Josh Bell. This team is great. All they truly need is a catcher. And then they're ready to go and be a dynasty again. However, they won't be a dynasty. Because they're in the toughest division in baseball. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow miss playoffs. That division is so stacked. You could have it going any way besides Marlins. All of those guys have a actual decent shot at winning the division. And honestly, the Marlins, they can possibly do it. I mean, they played great last season. It's a possibility. Not very likely, but it's just great division and a great team. They repowered up, and they're ready to try and win another ring. I love this team. I'm super excited to watch it play. I'm wishing the best to Lester, Schwarber, and Jeffries as a Cubs fan. I hope they have a great 2021 season, unless they're playing the Cubs, of course. I hope this team makes playoffs, and if they win one, I'll be happy for Lester, Jeffries, and Schwarber. And so honestly, you might see me root for this team in playoffs because they have a lot of familiar faces as a Cubs fan. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's. I'll see you all then.